Travis Wayne Goodsell. If a person who did not know the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints heard that there was polygamy, at least at one time, and they then come across a Mormon and say, is polygamy required for your afterlife? And you, knowing Section 132, would say, yeah, when we die, we have to have polygamy in order to get to the highest degree of celestial kingdom. And then they said, oh, so you're like Islamists, because they get 72 child bride virgins when they die. Would you correct them and say, no, we're not the same religion as Islam? Or would you say, yeah, we're just like Islam. Church came out with a pamphlet, said we're Islam. So why then would you say that the Jews are just like Christians? That they're one and the same religion? Did you miss my morning video? Google is not very intelligent with their AI. And so, every single one of my 4K plus videos on just this channel must be understood in the context of cyber terrorism. They are not letting me go today. Is this going to be the whole day? I mean, the guy should have ended his shift already. Is he doing a double? What the hell? All my videos are with the what's it called? Prerequisite knowledge that Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon are Jewish. And so for individuals, whether you're a Mormon, whether you're an ex-faux Mormon or a never Mormon, to come to one video because YouTube allowed you to finally find me and you clicked on it, and you didn't bother to do your research, to go to my homepage, see how many videos are on this channel, see the kinds of topics I talk about, and to accuse me of being a hater, being wrong, being ugly, any kind of false argument to try to defend your false beliefs? You need to know this, and you don't. So, on the hilarious picture meme for the thumbnail of the LDS church president spewing hate and lies at pulpit of General Conference. This is a breakout video. YouTube is slowly lifting their ban on the video I did in which I put an American news clip for which it is banned in French-speaking countries, and therefore YouTube punished me. They're slowly bringing me out. But you need to understand that it's because they're lying to you, saying that Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon are Christian. They're not. You've not studied. You've believed their lies that they told you. that they've published in their manuals from what only they want you to know and how to interpret the scriptures. That's why Spencer W. Kimball added another testament of Jesus Christ as the subtitle. To fool you, to tell you, you must replace the Jews. And that's hate. The Book of Mormon isn't all of a sudden true now that you've turned it Christian. Because Christians don't believe you. And you ex-phone-never-knows arguing with Mormons about something that's unrelated to the Jews. You shut down a Mormon by pointing out, hey, it's Jewish. And Jewish is not the same as Christian. And Jewish religion does not have Jesus as their Christ. Neither does the Bible, because it was written by Jews. Christianity is a complete and utter fraud. Joseph Smith called it an abomination. So, Patty Smith, who I highly doubt is my what would she be called? She's a grandma-in-law, or not, well, no, step-grandma-in-law, step-grandma. But my grandpa died, so does that sever the relation? Because she got the inheritance as a result. And so I don't think it's her. She's way old now, older than when she was already old. I think she even died finally, but I don't know. Didn't care. Family tried to assassinate me and erase me from history. So bleep them all. I mean, this is Mormons for you. If you do not conform and comply to their will for you, you will be destroyed. And she's doing the same thing. And so, she insults me, saying this video is an absolute waste of space on the YouTube servers. Oh, not at all. They're polluting the environment bigly to have a massive amount of server space for multi-billions more videos than are already being put on there. And so no, YouTube has no space that is wasted. What you want to say is that my video is a waste of my time. Leave the church alone. We're Christian and we hate you. With false idol god Jesus who doesn't exist. And so then she calls me an apostate. She's name-calling. This is a bullying tactic. Patty Smith, bully for Jesus. Apostates love. Mormons don't love. Saying LDS leaders, oh, you naughty girl. Jesus is angry with you. You can't use nicknames, especially the names of Joseph Smith's church. Jesus is so angry with him. Are spewing hate and lies. Hey, that was the title of the video, wasn't it? Oh, she's being clever. When it's them themselves doing so. She's not even talking to me. She is talking to the mob. She is trying to incite the mob against me on my own channel. See what Mormonism does to you? You believe in lies, and you turn into hate. Ta-da! Mormons fall for this trap every single time because they will not study, or they just don't believe what they read, or they're illiterate. Are you illiterate, Patty? Clever trick by the adversary. Yeah, she has no clue that the clever trick by the adversary is what she just did to me. It's all over the Book of Mormon. They pull the same stunt to the prophets. You are lying. There is no such thing as a Jewish Christ. You have no idea how he could come in some future time. You're lying to the people. All you had to do was read your Book of Mormon. That's it, Patty. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do. You couldn't do it. Instead, you exposed yourself as a hater. Hater for Jesus. So Mormons are ashamed of their religion. They obviously don't know it, but have been turned into weapons to protect it. And so, what does it mean to be Jewish as a Mormon? Because it's not Jewish orthodoxy of current time period. If you've ever read your Book of Mormon, well, then what kind of Judaism is it, Travis? You don't even care to study, do you? You just want the answers given to you, and then you don't even believe them. So, exposing Google AI as a fraud, I asked the question, just run and test. This is what you're supposed to do. Matthew chapter 7. You will know a false prophet by their fruits. Is Google AI false? Or can I trust it? Google is promoting it as the authoritative source, putting it right at the top of the search engine. So, is it true? So that I can cave in and buy a new system so that I can upload the brand new AI Google Chrome. Because my system's obsolete and Google Chrome keeps threatening me to get a new system so I can get the new AI Google Chrome, not just have search results in Google AI. So I ran a test. It's what you do. Alma chapter 32, starting in verse 28. Is the religion of the Jews Christian? No. AI is true. The religion of the Jews is not Christianity. It is Judaism, a separate religion with distinct beliefs and practices, just like Mormonism is not modern Judaism or Christianity or Islam or Buddhist or Hindu, etc. AI got it wrong on those. It said that this church with Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon are Christian. Not so smart, are you, AI? And so, most notably, not accepting Jesus as the Messiah, which is the central tenet of Christianity. They put a central tenet. It's the central tenet from the first creed of Christianity that created Jesus Christ, and thus took their stolen Jewish scriptures and conformed them to the first creed of Christianity in 325 CE. This is exactly what Brigham Young did to Joseph Smith in the Book of Mormon. If you're not going to bother to study, it's all on you. And so, for the Jews, having a different Christ is prophesied in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 15. The Lord thy God will raise up, seed, egg, baby, unto thee a prophet. How will you know if a prophet is true or false? By their fruits. Seed, soil, fruit. Seed, egg, baby. See the pattern match? It's called science. From the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. It's not actually the author. The author is speaking as if he is Moses. This isn't actually Moses writing this, as there are numerous examples within the text. Still to this day, it's your big clue it's not Moses, especially when Moses dies and we have no idea where he's been buried to this day. That's your big clue. So, that's the Jewish Christ. And so, does Jesus conform to it? No, because Jesus is created in 325 CE, out of nothing. Homuzion. Don't you know you're Greek? Doesn't matter. It's not a Greek word. Constantine made it up. It means not real, because it's made up. It's not a real word, it's made up. Therefore, Jesus is not real. And 4 billion people on the earth believe this lie and hate the Jews and replace the Jews. These scriptures are the Jewish scriptures. They're not Christian, they're not Islamic, they're not Mormon of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Everybody gets this wrong. And so you look down below, and for the footnotes for 15, you see the addition of TG Jesus Christ mission of, TG Jesus Christ prophecies about. Wrong. That's false. That's hateful. It's anti-Semitic. The church is anti-Semitic. You are born and raised in this church as an anti-Semite. When you get up at the pulpit of church for the Rameumptom, which you won't be able to do it for this month or next month, because that's conference weekend, so either your stake president will assign this tomorrow or the week after conference as your fast and testimony meeting. And Mormon after Mormon will get up and lie and expose themselves as anti-Semitic, hating Joseph Smith, hating, denying the Book of Mormon. Because when you say they're true, but you meant Christian, you're a liar. There's no escaping this. There's no excuse. There's no justification to try to prove that you're right. you're automatically wrong. You are evil. You're the enemy. You are trying to take away the agency of others and to subject them to your bondage, claiming it's the church's bondage, claiming it's Jesus' bondage. You don't get it. So yes, this is quoted in the Book of Mormon, just like it's quoted in Acts. It's also quoted by Joseph Smith in the second vision. He said that prophet was Christ. It's not Jesus. It's the Jewish Christ to come after Joseph Smith. But the day had not yet come when they, I wonder who they would be, Mormons, who would not hear his voice. This is a prophecy. Should be precisely as it stands in our New Testament. Because if I were to just say cut off, you go, yeah, so what? The apostates are cut off. They don't believe in Jesus. Destroyed. So what is he warning Joseph about the Book of Mormon? All last year, the bicentennial, you didn't know that? Because you hadn't been following me. I'm the only Mormon who mentioned in every single video all last year that it was the bicentennial, and fulfillment of prophecies ensued. And so the Malachi, who is actually named Nephi, not Moroni, but you have to know the original document that wasn't tampered with by Willard Richards, who put the wrong name of the church in the name that Joseph put in verse 1. Now, do you understand? This church is lying to us, and they're anti-Semitic. Guess how to identify forged documents of this church? But he is told, Malachi, that the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly, shall burn as stubble. For they that come shall burn them, not Jesus. See, Christians blame Jesus, but then they do the will of Jesus to burn people, to prove he's real. Christianity and Islam both believe in Jesus of Constantine and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So go back to verse 1. Who's the evil and disposed and designing militant persons against Joseph's Jewish religion? It is Brigham Young and his missionaries lying about the church. And what happened in 1838? Why didn't this get published in 1838? Why wasn't it until 1842 in Nauvoo? Oh, Joseph was framed and blamed in Liberty Jail by false brethren? This church is evil, abominable. And so then he also adds to another passage in Malachi, the whole earth would be utterly wasted at the Jewish Christ's coming. So you think you're all clever mocking me, finding some excuse other than that you're not supposed to be Christian. So, Joseph Smith says that the president of the office of the high priesthood is to preside over the whole church and to be like unto Moses. Hey, the Christ, the Jewish Christ. Hey, Joseph Smith was the president of the office of the high priesthood to preside over the whole church. And wouldn't you know it, there have been no successive presidents after Joseph died. You got to go to verse 22 to see how the priesthood was supposed to select Joseph's replacement. And it was never done by any of the Mormons back then. Thus, Joseph's church is gone, and it needs to be resurrected from the grave by that Christ, the Jewish Christ. That's who you're supposed to be looking for, Mormons. And you will know him by his fruits of seer, revelator, translator, and prophet. Not having titles, having gifts. When you only have titles, you deny the power of the gifts. You are lying. You are anti-Semitic haters. Because this is how you can judge him. And so, Mormons are going to mock him, scorn him, watch to see if they can catch him in iniquity. They're going to finally look upon him. These are the survivors after the day that shall burn as an oven, because you didn't hearken to him. They're going to look on him and say, what are those wounds in thy hands and in thy feet that you got on 6th of June, 2022? Climbing on the mountain of Mount Olympus. It's not the Jews, is it? Joseph Smith says it's not the Jews. You are the Jews, Mormons. You are the house of Israel. Joseph is talking about you. If you read it, he tells you, I'm talking to you. Let's get the exact quote. Verse 1, hearken, O ye people of my church. You. You are the Jews. Because he said so. Hearken, O ye people of my church. I'm going to give a parable prophecy about you. And I'm going to use the Jews as you. And so, in case you still can't figure it out, because you're illiterate, talking about the restoration of Zion, section 103, verse 16, therefore I will raise up, hey, pattern match, unto my people, you, a man who shall lead them like as Moses. Led the children of Israel. For ye, Mormons, are the children of Israel. So let's go back to Deuteronomy, because they don't footnote it here. They won't make the connection for you. They don't want you to know. Wow, abomination is all over prior to. Fascinating. So, the Lord thy God will raise up unto thee. Is it the house of Israel? Or you, Mormons? Yeah, you. A prophet. You'll know him by his fruits. Prophet, seer, revelator, translator. From the midst of thee. Seed egg baby, he's one of you. Of thy brethren, Mormons. Just like section 103, verse 16 and 17 said. Like unto me, unto him ye shall hearken. I can keep doing this all day. It's all over all of the scriptures of the Jews, because every single Jew must obey the law. And so this is the prophecy. So all Jews prophesy. That's what continues on with Acts. That's also in the Book of Mormon. All the prophets testify of him. So they're not literal histories. They're all prophecies. Isaiah gives a direct prophecy. Matthew gives a story prophecy of Isaiah about him, the law. And so, the prophecy character named Jesus in Matthew says, I am not come to destroy Deuteronomy. Jesus destroys Deuteronomy. Because he's not Jewish. But to fulfill the law, to fulfill Deuteronomy, to be the Jewish Christ, of Jewish prophecy, of Jewish religion. Not Jesus. Jesus isn't even the right name. And Matthew makes you understand this very clearly, because he gives you the name of the Christ and then says, for the story purposes, he's going to tell stories about the prophecies of Isaiah. And so he names him Jesus, which is the reverse spelling of Isaiah. He could have just as easily named him Isaiah. and just left out the prophecies of Isaiah. There's a scripture idea for somebody. Because there's nobody else who's done it. Elishua is closest. Elijah and Elishua. You don't know that story? It's Old Testament, I believe. This is what it means to be Jewish, Mormons. And so, as I've told you, all these videos trying to break through the Christian Jesus wall of blindness and stumbling is that you gotta pay attention to the manner of the Jews. You need to know the calendar. And I've told you where you can go, even if you don't have it memorized, like me. Let me go for 34 minutes here. That's strange. Okay, the white screen of death. Google. Don't let me customize. Then the extortion threat to upgrade my system to AI. cgsf.org /DBEATTIE/calendar/. So I'm lazy. I've got that link in a separate file in case I get cyber attacked. But also I keep it in the system so that I just have to do CG and it pops up as recommended and I just click enter. And so it starts me off with 2024, and you can just replace it with any time you want. I would recommend going back into Joseph's day when Joseph had visionary accounts. You know, like the second vision, 1823. And when he gets the Book of Mormon, 1827. And when he starts the church, it's 1830. Just a hint. And so then the latter days. You need to know at least the first and the last year of the latter days. But I would also include 2014 and 2015 because of that sun shall be darkened, moon turned to blood, stars fall from heaven. Bye-bye, Perry Packer Scott. Yep. Every single president, so-titled, self-titled, since Brigham Young, all fall to their deaths. Under the sun shall be darkened, moon turned to blood, stars fall from heaven. And then there are some exceptions with additions of other apostles who did not become presidents, like Perry Packer Scott, like Hales, like Ballard. Because 2017 to 2024 is the latter-day time period. That's why both Passover and Tabernacles in the coming days are 7 days, technically 8 in our calendar, because the Jews start their day at 6 p.m. in 2 more hours. See, today is their Sabbath from the Babylonians. It's Constantine who changed it to Sunday, the day of the sun god. I guess he forgot about the first creed he created. But yeah, he still replaced the Jews in doing so. As all Christians replace the sun god of the ancient Egyptians as Jesus. And it's just so sickening that people keep branching out beyond the Jewish scriptures. As I've seen Christians who say that the family unit of three of the Egyptians, Horus, Isis, and Osiris, are the Christian Trinity. That there's spirit deities. Trinity. Oh my God. Just abominable. Just abominable. And so yeah, it also helps if you want to know the revelations, i.e. days and hours, of the predicted future events. As I've done the videos for you going over when he was actually born. Because we're told he will be an actual baby. He will have Mormon parents. And they will get sealed in a Mormon temple. That's all prophesied about. And they have dates that are revealed. So you can figure it out. But you never did you? Because of Christianity blinders. And so I tried to help you. This is when he's conceived. This is when he's born. This is the temple where his parents got sealed. This is where he had his nativity. This is where he was born. This is where he moved. This is where he moved again. And this is where he starts his ministry in the latter days in 2017. This is when he gets baptized. This is when he gets sealed in the temple himself. Or not, well, I haven't checked that one yet. This is when he gets his endowments in the temple. It's the same temple where his parents got sealed. It's the temple of angels. Do you not know the prophecies? Is there a temple of angels in this church? I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. Hint, hint. It's real simple. And so, yeah, it helps if you know Hebrew. And you can't Google search this. There are too many errors. But since he is a translator of pre-Babylonian captivity Hebrew and Egyptian, it means he is the only one on the face of the earth who knows it. Which means he deciphers them. So you need to find the Mormon who deciphered Paleo-Hebrew and the learning of the Egyptians and the language of the Egyptians, not the learning of the Greeks from the Rosetta Stone and the language of the Egyptians. Because if you were to go to the three facsimiles and you were to check them with either Budge, which has more characters, or the one that everybody promotes, Gardner's Signless, you'll notice that there's a bunch of hieroglyphs missing. I guess they don't need to be translated. What's Joseph doing translating them? Joseph is not a translator. He doesn't know what he is doing, let alone putting them in the precise order, and only 3 out of all of them that were available to him. And he even went out of his way to take the first and the second one, which were damaged, to put them in, and in that order. prophecy, revelation, predicting the future, day and the hour of the prediction of the future. Facsimile number 1, 21st of August 2017. Facsimile number 2, 14 October 2023. Facsimile number 3, 8 April 2024. And Mormons don't believe. You're supposed to test to find out if Joseph is true. You didn't. You claim he's Christian, and you don't even test for Christianity to find out it's false. And so it kind of helps. And so if you find him, then you can go to his academia.edu page, and hey, they're there for free so that you can study Paleo-Hebrew and Egyptian. So that you can use that to go into the scriptures. So blueletterbible.org and WLC, Westminster Leningrad Codex, so that you can see the Aramaic script of the biblical Hebrew text. And so just understand it's wrong. Don't rely on it. Just convert it to Paleo-Hebrew script, which may be a little more complicated. I'm not sure if he has the side-by-side comparison for you. I don't think he does. Lazy learner and lax disciple. He has 602 followers. 7 are following. I thought I had 602. Public views, 17,744. He's in the top 3%. So he's kind of popular for academia.edu. And you should have only people who are scholars on this site. Not people who want to spread lies and hate about Jesus. And so there's a video. Hey, this is also on YouTube. Jesus versus Legion, a translation of the judgment scene in Pharaoh the Fifth's tomb. It should be 19th dynasty Pharaoh. And then we have a paper, Joseph Smith 3 facsimile solar eclipse prophecy order. Hey, I just went over that with you. That's a coincidence. Samson, Sun King. Hey, that's the actual translation of Samson, not son child. Dear God, Google. Baby name meaning son child. The N is a suffix determinative for king. And if it's on a place name, it would be kingdom, because they had kingdoms back then, with kings on the throne. And so Shemesh is sun. So the Sun King. And so, hey, there's a lion that dies, 21st of August 2017. His wife is burned, annular eclipse, 14 October 2023. And then the Philistines die, along with him getting sacrificed in the process. Sacrificial lamb, Aries, where Jupiter is, from Revelation 12, 1, 2, and 5, and 8 April 2024. The same as in Revelation 19, 11, and 17. See how all the Jews are talking about it. The Jews are not coming up with their own thing. They're all different stories, but it's all about Deuteronomy 18:15 through 19. And so, Paleo-Hebrew script, solar eclipse prophecy. They were over the United States of America, not Israel. Hey, Mormons are in the United States of America. And there's the complete book of signs that is in desperate need of an update, because this was back in 2017, as I needed to finish things up so I can get going on looking for the signs in the heavens in the latter days, since none of you know to look for it. And then there's full Paleo-Hebrew decipherment that was revised in 2022. Really? Wow. And then the construction of Paleo-Hebrew vocabulary. And then the unpublished Doctrine and Covenants sermon of Joseph Smith, 19 July 1840. Why would I put that one in there? I mean, he put that one in there. Translating Joseph Smith Jr.'s Book of Joseph. Complete Paleo-Hebrew lesson manual that is also in need of an upgrade, because those first stuff that I did in 2022 were updated of the Paleo-Hebrew alphabet, the complete scientific research, and the Paleo-Hebrew synoptic index for the complete scientific research. They were supposed to be put together. The index was supposed to be put at the end of the book, but Amazon said that I had reached my max. So I had to pull that part out and make it a separate book. Joseph Smith's confession, though, I could combine them for academia. But anyway, projects galore, and I'm spending my time trying to warn Mormons about their utter destruction that's coming in the coming days. Let's see, Joseph Smith's confession, the Book of Mormon was encoded. Biblical Torah translated into ancient Egyptian, Genesis, creation to the flood. Ezekiel 37, you say? Somebody has those keys. Identifying Moses as a pharaoh of Egypt, his first published book. Oh, that's not the first published book. I don't have that one here. I gave up on that one because that was in need of an update after I published it. This is a separate book. This was the first book that I had an actual editor for, I think. Yeah. Sister Jones. And then teaching documents. Messiah Anointed in Paleo-Hebrew. Paleo-Hebrew translation, lesson 1, Genesis 1:1. 3 solar eclipses over America. Full Paleo-Hebrew script decipherment chart. No, it doesn't have it. It's just the Paleo-Hebrew, not the Aramaic equivalent. But you can just go to Aramaic script, and it's in the order, that's the order of Paleo-Hebrew. Aramaic script. Okay. Aramaic alphabet. AMA, or ARAMAIC. Can be kind of tricky. And got to scroll down the letters, and there they have it. The one that says Hebrew, but is not Hebrew, it's Aramaic. It's just, dear God. And so you just replace, or you put side by side each one of those forms so that when you go to blueletterbible.org, you can see that the Aramaic script called Hebrew, and then replace it with the Paleo-Hebrew so that you can now see the meaning of the words and correct them in the vocabulary. And Scripture Study Manual, that is in desperate need of an upgrade. 2005 was when I did that one. And Complete Works of Joseph Smith Jr., the first draft. So that needs to be formatted uniformly, and I need to make sure that the forged documents are not in there. So now that you know better, right? Not wasting my time with people who are haters and liars. So section 115, Nelson spoke of this over the pulpit of conference. Can you figure out how he's lying now? For thus shall my church be called in the last days, even the church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Just a simple, basic, nope, that's Christian, not Jewish. This is a forged document. Joseph Smith never named his church Christian. And so, yes, you're going to see the name Jesus in Joseph Smith's works and in the Book of Mormon, 3rd Nephi, chapter 11. And so it has Samuel the Lamanites, prophecies and revelations. Samuel is the name of God. What is the name of God? Isaiah tells us, Emmanuel, sun God at noonday. And so Lehi has his second vision. Emmanuel, sun God at noonday. It's an exact same pattern match for Joseph Smith's second vision. Saw a pillar of light above the brightness of the sun at noonday. Yeah, both the first and second visions are Emmanuel, the Jewish Christ. And it's therefore a vision, not literal history. Real simple to understand once you put in Jews. And so, 3rd Nephi chapter 11, they're at the temple, land bountiful, and they're conversing about Jesus Christ, the prophecy of Isaiah, of whom the sign in heaven had been given concerning his death. 8 April 2024. The word for sign in Paleo-Hebrew is the shadows of the sun over the United States of America on the first day of darkness and the last day of darkness that creates the two crosses. The crossroads of the sun god. Hey, that's his full name. As he's in a wagon in space. Wagoneer. Same name of his father. Father Amen. God, soul, sun god. He who is from the crossroads. Travis. Hey, that's my name, isn't it? It's all right there for you. The sealed portion of the Book of Mormon is unsealed. Hey, I'm supposed to do that too. Another fulfillment of prophecy. Judge me by my fruits, not by Jesus' standards. And it also helps to know Jewish Kabbalah so that you can understand the tree of life. Just saying. Because 180 years of the tree of life after the death of Joseph is the birth of the millennium, 2024.